Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rahakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning into these videos. Alright, so when I was introducing this video, I said double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who teach this word, because if it wasn't for them and their labor, none of us would have had this truth, in this purest form. Is pretty much the oil that we're supposed to be seeking after. And so, the premise of this video is I was meditating and I was thinking about how, like, with all these famous people, like Kanye West, Nick Cannon, Kendrick Lamar, just a bunch of various rappers, and even the likes of Andrew Tate. A lot of these people are pretty much coming out the woodwork and like teaching or speaking or whatever on the internet, and they have news articles covering the things and topics that they speak about. But ultimately, here at Great Millstone, we've been had this truth, and we have the full truth because all those people that I just mentioned, they're not going to go into Esau Edom. They're not going to go into the nitty gritties of the law, like how Apostle Tahar has been going into recently. They shy away from this actual full truth because they want to have one foot in the world and one foot in this truth, so to speak. Like Kanye West, for example, the one that's the latest trend. Really, what he's been saying, you could only really make an edifying video out of 10% of what he said. Pretty much, claiming who we as a nation really are. But he's got a lot of leaven in the things that he's saying. So when you're doing these videos and you're listening to whoever it is that's not the apostles of Great Millstone, you have to take it with a grain of salt. We can use this world but not abuse it, because of course a lot of the things that they say are factual, and you can't do nothing against this truth but for this truth. But the thing is, though, is you can't forget your first love. Like when you came into this ministry and learned this doctrine, you put forth your best foot, and your labors are not in vain. They're actually counted, and the angels are dotting that down. We're storing our treasures in the kingdom of heaven. And we can't forget the order and the structure that Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai has put down here. And so this is the precept. And this is why we when we do the videos, we give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. And so this is 1 Timothy 5:17, and it reads, "Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labored in the word and doctrine." So that's the main thing that the apostles of Great Millstone have labored in, this word and doctrine. And with their fervency and their adamant love for this truth, just like how when Yahweh Shai told Peter, he told him 3 times to feed his lambs. And that's that same faith that we want to attune to, or I should say a better word. We want to thrive for and aspire to be like. And that's one thing that Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rambla, Apostle Raha, they all push that vibration of, not only are they the teachers and the elders of Great Millstone, but they're teaching to you to be a teacher. And so you're not going to find that in all these other, so-called ministries, or a bunch of, rappers who came out the woodwork because they got a little bit of truth. That's not going to cut it, because as the scriptures speak about, like if you read in Book of Revelation, Yahweh Shai was going to the churches, and I'm going to go ahead and get that. It's in Revelation 3:16, and he was pretty much giving admonishment and a warning to those churches, for what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. And here at Great Millstone, we want to strive to be like the Church of Berea. That's why we put on therefore the elect. We want to seek the old ways and do the best that we can, so that we can have our names assuredly written in the book of life. That's why with this faith we have works. So this is in Revelation 3:16, or actually I'm going to start at verse 13, and it reads, "He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. And unto the angel of the churches," Osaki says, "and unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans write, These things saith the Saki. Read again from here. It says, these things saith the Amen, the faithful and the true rise witness, and beginning of the creation of the Most High Yahweh. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Because thou sayest, I am rich, and increaseth with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched, and miserable, and poor, and blind, and naked. So in this ministry, you want to be, hot in this ministry, fervent. You don't want to be lukewarm, stagnant. You want to actually grow in this ministry. You want to be just like the apostles of Great Millstone, because he's teaching us to be teachers, and we're ultimately putting on therefore the elect. Makes me think of the parable with the talents. You're given a gift here. This is actual spiritual power that you're able to speak and understand this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And you're supposed to flip it. You're supposed to make sure that that grows and expands. And then to brothers who are hearing this, do not get disenchanted, because the scriptures speak about how you're supposed to ask Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for that increase. With anything lacking, ask him. If you have a like the mindset where you get distracted or something, ask Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to help you in that section of your life. And that applies for everything. It applies for money, finances. We gotta pray like how it says in Matthew 6, I believe. Because what we're ultimately doing is we're praying for the daily bread, what we're sufficient for, and it's actually this word is what that's what we're going with. We ultimately want nothing else but this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And in Matthew 6, it goes into the Lord's Prayer, and I'm just going to get to the point. It says, "Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debtors as we forget our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen." So this is the mentality that we're supposed to have. We're lacking nothing and wanting this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Up until when the wedding happens. That's why you got to get that wisdom, which is likened to oil, right now while you can. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and read this in 2 Corinthians 6:14, and it reads, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what it says, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness?" And so this is the precept that I was meditating on, because you could make an edifying video speaking about all these bugged out rappers, but you got to give that full truth. You can't be lukewarm with it, because you got to point out the fact that these guys are just controlled by the spirit of Satan ultimately, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is making them say certain things, and that could go for edification, but ultimately, all these people, you can look at their track record. None of them are repenting, and ultimately, none of them have this testimony of Yahweh Shai, which is the spirit of prophecy. They'll say a truth here and there, which like I said, you could build off of that, but you ultimately can't be led astray and just listen to those people and disregard what the apostles of Great Millstone have established in this ministry. So all these people, they could say, that the real Hebrew Israelites are black, which, even then that's full of leaven when they say that. But there's a kernel of truth in that. You can't really be equally yoked with these people. Like, you can't be rooting for them, because they haven't put their hand to the plow like how we have. So they're really not with us. Like, again, we use this world, we don't abuse it. We could go into like how Andrew Tate, that one guy, he can say some truths here and there, but ultimately we're not following what that guy's doing. He's always shaving his face. He's got sunglasses. He's got a bunch of leaven in the things that he speak about. But see, the thing is, though, is apostles of Great Millstone have been saying the right things, for 30 years and plus. So we can't really add all these other people's doctrines and videos or whatever. They're the things that they speak about. because it's not likened unto what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has instructed to be taught down here. You know, they're just going by their own will. You know, it's going to get to a point where, you know, there's going to be like divisions. There's going to be schisms because other people are going to start being led astray. You know, and you have to remember that first love. You know, you know, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You know, those are the true names of the Heavenly Father and His Son, who the world Italy calls Jesus Christ. And, you know, you didn't learn that anywhere else but from the apostles of Great Millstone. You know, and if you did, you know, I would like to hear the explanation. You know, you're never going to see these rappers speak about these things. You're never going to see Andrew Tate actually going into how you're supposed to conduct yourself as a husband to your women. You know, they're just going to give you things because they're really doing it for filthy lucre's sake. They're just trying to make money. They're just trying to get ahead in this world. You know, but we're dead in this world. You know, we're separate from this world. We're not equally yoked with these unbelievers. Even though they could say, you know, a right thing, but, you know, a clock, like how the world says, a broken clock is right twice a day. But anyways, I'm gonna read this in 2 Timothy 4 verse 1, and it reads, I charge thee therefore before the Most High and the Lord Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom. Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season. And that's what we were commanded to do, to preach this word. You know, we weren't supposed to, well, like Yahweh Bashim Yahushai didn't command us to make music videos, you know, to be a musician or be famous in this world. You know, he taught us pretty much to be meek and lowly and to ultimately preach this word, and everything else will fall onto us. So, okay. So I'm going to read verse 2 again. It says, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all longsuffering and doctrine. And this precept right here is a cut to all those other people because none of them are doing this. You know, so that's how you can pretty much say, you know, yeah, they can say a bunch of truths, but I ain't going to follow them. You know, but you can see people in the world, they're following every last thing that these bug outs are saying. You know, they're pretty much becoming Tateites. You know, these rapper, you know, followers, you know, like fanboys pretty much. You know, but see, the Apostle of Great Millstone, they preach the word instant in season. They haven't quit. You know, they haven't took their hand off the plow. You know, it's in season, out of season, and they reprove also. You know, they're always getting on us to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing in this ministry. They rebuke. You know, if anybody's doing something wrong, they're going to make sure that that's going to be corrected. And that's a beautiful thing because open rebuke is better than secret love. You know, they exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. And this doctrine of Great Millstone is really, it's brazen. It's actually, you know, what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has, you know, put down here for us to learn and to keep in our minds so we can have that faith and we build on it. You know, all these other people, they ain't doing these things. So this is verse 3. It says, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. You know, so like I said when I was, you know, in the beginning of this video, yeah, you could listen to some other people here and there, you know, but ultimately you got to remember that first love. It's the apostles of Great Millstone who taught this truth in sincerity. You know, all these other people, you know, don't let it where like you're having an itching ear that you're wasting your time watching, you know, the latest Kanye video as opposed to what the apostles are posting on YouTube. You know, because we gotta continually grow in this ministry. You know, we can't be lukewarm. We can't be stagnant. You know, so we can't be having itching ears for other wayward doctrines. You know, we gotta stick to the truth. You know, as what Scripture said, buy the truth and sell it not. You know, emphasizing the importance of this thing, that you don't want to let it go. And verse 4 says, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fables. You know, so that's a thing you don't want happen to you. So I'm going to read this in Matthew 7, verse 21. And it reads, not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? Well, I'm going to read this one right here again. It says, but he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven. You know, so we're supposed to do the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. and that's to preach His word, and to rebuke with all long suffering. Not to go make a lot of money, and then do a few jabs at the small hats on the news, or just put down like the women of the world, so that everybody can applaud you. We're supposed to do the whole truth. We eat the whole roll, and we're supposed to know all things, so we can't just stop at one thing. We ultimately teach what's in the scriptures. And it says, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? So it's going into how you have to actually have faith with your works in this ministry. You can't just be doing this because it's like you're putting an act. You have to actually believe that Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to come and deliver us, and put these devils in captivity. And verse 23 says, and then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. And that makes me think with all these famous rappers, like the parable, how Yahweh Shai said, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Because a lot of these rich famous people, they're rich, they already got their bag, like how the world says they sold their soul already. So it's those are going to be those ones who ain't going to be delivered. It's going to be the ones that's spoken about in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. It's going to be, actually, I'm going to go ahead and get it. So this is Wisdom of Solomon 5, verse 1, and it reads, then shall the righteous man, the ones who are teaching this word, wisdom, with wisdom, knowledge, understanding, the ones who got this truth from the apostles of Great Millstone, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. Because a lot of people, they're retweeting what Kanye West is saying, but then Apostle of Great Millstone, they've been doing this labor for 30 plus years. And so they're literally making no account of our labors from the apostles and the elders on down. And verse 2 says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. Because if these people were really sincere, they would actually do it the right way. Give away all their riches, or donate to the ministry. As the scriptures speak about charity covering the multitude of sins. So right there, they're doing something wrong. They're doing something adversarial. They're doing something that wasn't commanded of them to do. They're being rebellious. So really, when you're doing this, you got to understand that, we're only speaking to the elect. We don't care about all these other people, these rich, famous people. You can really forget about them, because as you can see, their fruits ain't showing forth, good fruits, or it's like their works ain't showing forth good fruits. But the Apostles of Great Millstone, you can see their fruits. As soon as they got on YouTube, you can see that this thing, Great Millstone, this thing of ours, it's expanded to the four corners of the earth, and all the four corners have heard this word, and that's why you're seeing these prophecies, popping off, spoken about in Revelation 7. But I'm gonna read these last two precepts. This is Revelation 12, verse 11, and it reads, "And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb." And that's one thing. Kanye West, he's still pushing that Jesus vibration. So he's not, as of right now. Me speaking as a man also, he's not covered by the blood of the Lamb. He's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. Of course, the Lord's hand isn't short enough that he could save somebody, but as of right now, it's slim to none for that guy. And same goes for all these other individuals who are getting like a big soapbox. And pretty much, they're saying things that the apostles pretty much say, but then no one's accounting our labors. So it's that, and they that overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. And that's what you're going to see here at Great Millstone. We don't love our lives. We put our lives off so that we can work in this ministry, because we know that we live in Yahweh Shai. These other people, you take away a few of their money, like specifically Nick Cannon. I think 2 years back or something. He said the same things, and then he got in trouble. But then he said sorry so that he can get those money deals. So they love their lives. So this is what you got to remember. It's like, even though these guys are saying some little inklings of truth, they still love their lives. They got that leaven. You got to prune it out, or at least discern when they're speaking nonsense and then speaking the truth, which is slim to none. But anyways, I'm gonna read this here because this is the vibration that the apostles of Great Millstone and the elders on down are pushing, which is the testimony. I'm gonna read it in Revelation 19:10, and it reads, "And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy." So until these other people ain't speaking about prophecy, you can't say that they got the testimony of Yahushai. But who does? The apostles of Great Millstone. So with that, I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. And all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakak Wadash, and Shalom Akim.